Hi everyone. You've seen the title, so you kind of know where this video is going. Over the last 18 months, certain things have occurred and it's got a little bit worse and worse. And the last incident scared me. It actually scared me. I fully understand. I'm on social media, I'm out there, and people are going to give you some abuse. It's understandable. It's not acceptable, but it's understandable. But let me tell you what's sort of happened over the last 18 months. You've got to bear in mind, I'm a food reviewer. I'm not reinventing the wheel, I'm just having a little munch and all the rest. So let me run through some of the incidents. I was in my local pub. There I am, working away, okay, replying to comments. This couple comes in. This lady comes over to me. She goes, "You Gary?" I said, "Oh yeah, I'm Gary, yeah, how you doing?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm really, really good." She introduced her other half to me. And they were there and, yeah, everything was fine. For 2 minutes. Then she turned around and she said, "You're a coward." She goes, "You're an absolute coward." I said, "Right, okay. You should be going in, you should be telling these people this, you should be telling them that, you should be doing this." And then the language got really, really heavy. Then she started shouting. I was like, "Oh, gosh, I don't know where this is going." Her other half then turned around and goes, "I don't watch you, mate. I don't watch you at all." I said, "All right." I said, "Well, I think that's quite a relief." He says, "However, I think," he goes, "you're a bit of a..." No, I can't use that word. I can't use that word. And then they were on me. Now, I'd like to thank the landlord of the pub, Lee. He dived in, bang, right, out. There's your money for your drinks back. Get out. I was like, whoa. What just happened? What just happened? So that was a little bit bizarre, strange, blew my mind. I was like, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? Now, that was 18 months ago. Then it moves on. So I'm walking down the high street. I was like, God, blimey, this bloke looks a bit angry coming towards me. I was like, God, he's had a bad day. I was like, hang on, he's heading towards me. Come up, he goes, you're a fraud. You're out of order. You're this, you're that, you're the other. I'm like, whoa, could you stop shouting? Because everyone's now stopped. Everyone's turned around. A couple of people gets cameras out. I'm like, oh, no, what's going on? I said, calm down. I said, what's the problem? He said, you're in Waitrose. No, I'm not in Waitrose. No, I saw you in Waitrose. I said, okay. He said, you shop in Waitrose? I said, no. Actually, I normally shop in Sainsbury's because that's the biggest one near me. I said, Waitrose. He said, yeah, you're in there. I said, hang on. I said, yeah, the last time I was in there, I said, I went in, I got a ready meal for my mum. I got some, what else did I get? Milk, bread, just a couple of essentials. But the thing that scared me, he said, yeah, you got this, you got that, you got this, you got that. I said, please don't tell me you followed me around. He said, yeah, I followed you around. I said, why did you follow me around? I wanted to see what you were buying. I said, okay, well, what were you doing in there? Don't worry about what I was doing in there, but you're a fraud, you're out of order, I'm telling you, mate. I was like, whoa, this is now completely out of control. Because I happened to go into Waitrose and get a couple of essentials, and, okay, it might be a little bit dearer than other places. Please, what is this going on? And in the end, I had to get him away. I had to literally get him away. I was like, but he wasn't a small chap. He was quite a big fella. And I was like, oh no, this isn't going good. This isn't going good. Then I'm going up then a couple of months later, I'm going up this escalator. This bloke was coming down the other side. I hate your guts. I hate you. I said, do you know me? Yeah, you're Gary Eats. He goes, I'll tell you what, mate. He goes, if I was going up, he goes, I'll do you. I was, what for? And we're kind of now growing apart because I'm going up and he's going down. I said, what have I done wrong? I just hate you. I said, okay, I can't please everybody. You know, not everyone's going to really like me. However, people have come up to me in the past. Gary, don't agree with you on that review. You know, I've seen it in the comments section. Don't agree with you, Gary. It's only my opinion. You've got to bear in mind it's just my opinion. And I'm happy for people to come up, have a chat and say, no, hang on a second, I've been to that restaurant, I think it's far better. Everyone's got their opinion and I respect everyone's opinion. And not everyone's going to agree with me, and I fully understand that. I don't agree with myself half the time. I'm up in Glasgow. Hang on, the cameraman definitely doesn't agree with me. So I'm up in Glasgow. My good old friend Danny's there. He's doing a review, some fish and chips, and I'm just standing in the background and thinking, come on, Danny, hurry up. I just want to get back to the hotel. And this bloke was standing there look, two chaps are standing right here, and this bloke turns around and goes, I really like Danny. The bloke said, yeah, he's really funny, he's a good guy. I really like Danny as well. He said, yeah, but that posh southern, he's an absolute... And the guy turned around and he goes, oh, Gary Eats. He said, yeah, what? He goes, this guy here, Gary Eats. And he said, that's him, yeah. You absolute blah, 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 blah. They walked off. Danny actually got the whole realisation of the situation because he turned around and said, you okay? I said, yeah. He goes, I saw it out of the corner of my eye. He said, and I thought that bloke was going to hit you. He goes, and you're on the floor laughing. I said, well, it kind of broke the situation up, didn't it? He goes, no. He goes, that could have been quite dangerous. He said, it's quite dangerous. So I'm like, actually, I should have taken it a little bit more serious. The last one, which only occurred a few days ago. Now, this one did scare me. And I have got to be brutally honest. They're happening in so many different kind of places. A supermarket, a bar, walking down the street, going on an escalator, up in Scotland, just again, in the street. I love watching football. And I occasionally meet this older gentleman who is great entertainment. And he's great entertainment because he supports Spurs. And they are rubbish at this season. I'm not saying they're rubbish all the time. Cameraman says they are, he supports Chelsea. And we have a bit of banter, and what he loves doing is telling me his latest creation, what he's done in the kitchen, and what do I think of this, what do I think of that. And I've got to say, Ian, his name is, Ian is very, very good because his imagination is absolutely brilliant. So we're just standing there having a laugh, the usual, just not taking life seriously and not taking it seriously. And out of the blue, this guy comes over, and again, quite a big chap. Whoa. I said, you right there? He goes, you Gary? I said, I'm Gary, yeah. Gary from Gary Eats? I said, yeah. He said, I absolutely hate your guts. I said, you don't know me? I said, you don't know me from Adam? He then was so threatening. Ian, who's, as I said, an elderly gentleman, was straight in. Whoa, calm down, what are you doing? Calm down. And because Ian raised his voice and said, calm it down, luckily, two other guys who happened to be in this bar then came running over, grabbed him and threw him out. I'm kind of condensing this a little bit because this guy, without a shadow of a doubt, was going to beat me up for a word. He was just going to lay into me. And guys, I was kind of like, whoa. And then, of course, my concern then was for my mate Ian. And I said, you all right? He said, crikey, where did that come from? Ian said, you can't get that level of abuse just because you do a few videos. I said, unfortunately, I do. And it's got worse. It's got worse. Now I'm going to change the tack. So that did scare me. I'll hold my hands up here. No, I'm not a young man anymore. Oh, I am, really. I am a young man. But that did scare me. And it shook me right up. And there comes that point of how many times, how many incidents are going to occur before something goes very horribly, horribly wrong. So many of you come up to me in the street. So many of you come up wherever I am, if I'm on a train, anything. Gary, love the channel. I love you all for coming up and saying hello. And please keep coming up and saying hello to me. If you want a picture taken, if you want to do a video call to somebody, if you want to do a video, no problem at all. I respect every single person for watching the channel. And then I respect everyone's opinion, in the comment section. People are so lovely in the comment section. I am the luckiest YouTuber because the comment section is absolutely fantastic. You give your opinion. You don't always agree with me. You give me criticism. I fully understand that. I deserve some criticism, especially when I start singing. Do you want me to sing a song? No, especially when I start singing. I speak to a load of YouTubers, 10, 11, 12 of them, and everyone's saying exactly the same thing. Over the last 12 months, the abuse online is getting out of control. And near enough all of them are saying it. It is getting very personal and it's getting very unpleasant. And I see that myself and I don't get it. If you're sitting at home, okay, and you're sending these abusive messages to all these people, you're a bully and you're an unpleasant bully. Because you are playing with everyone's mental health, and that is not fair. That is not right in any shape or form. What gives you the right to go out of your way and do that? And we're all saying the same thing. And we speak regularly, you know, we say the same thing. Danny, for example, okay, obviously brilliant mates with Danny. And Greeno. Greeno's been a great mate as well. But I speak to Danny, and Danny had an incident. This one particular gentleman was, I'll say gentleman, was giving him and his family absolutely disgusting abuse. And it was going on and on and on and on and on and on. And Danny had enough of it. And he done the right thing. He went to the guy's workplace. He went and saw him. And he said to him, why? You tell me why. What have I done? What has my family done to you? And this guy was really ashamed. And of course, the other work lads were there and they recognised, Danny, how are you doing, Danny? I'm not good, because this man here is abusing me and my family all the time. And they gave this guy loads of stick and all the rest. And do you know what the guy was like? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm really embarrassed. I'm so sorry. It won't happen again. It shouldn't happen in the first place. That's the end of it. It shouldn't happen in the first place. I'm going to go to a slightly odd subject here. My mum's not very well. She has dementia. And I've looked after my mum for a long period of time. She has got to be one of the nicest ladies in the whole wide world. And hang on a second.
Love the video.
Lovely. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. See, that's what I'm talking about. Lovely man. Came over. Loved the videos. He's just walked away. I will see him afterwards. What a nice guy. But my mum has dementia. I've looked after her. And she is the loveliest mum in the world. Everyone's mum's the loveliest mum in the world. Mine's the loveliest mum in the world as well. However, she starts getting abuse. My mum starts getting abuse. What has my mum got to do with the price of bread? What's she got to do with absolutely anything? She's a poor innocent lady who had me. Right, let's wrap this up. Sponsors. In 3 years, I've had 3 sponsors on the channel. The last one was a Revolut advert. Revolut, I use it, and from my point of view, I've done a sponsored video and it was an opportunity. You don't have to take a Revolut card, it's your choice, that's the end of it. 3 in 3 years. Got so much stick. So many, I'm unsubscribing, you've sold yourself out, you've done this, you've done that. 3 in 3 years, come on. You know, that's not really fair. I'm also going to tell you, okay, when it came to the book that I launched, the Sun newspaper, we're going to do a massive spread and put it all out there. I support Liverpool Football Club. I turned that flat down. Flat, no chance. I don't want anything from the Sun newspaper. It was very kind of them to offer, and it was very kind of them to offer, but no, you've got to have your principles. So when I take a sponsor, I ensure, and I've had hundreds of offers from sponsors, I make sure out of the 3 I've chosen that they are proper. Final thing, I get the vibe people are kind of, only because of what they said to me when they've come up and approached me and been angry, that I have this massive, brilliant, unbelievable lifestyle. I drive around in a big flash car. I don't actually. I don't drive around in a flash car at all. A Fiesta. So, yeah, that's my big flash car. I live in this great big mansion. I don't live in a great big mansion, I live in a little flat. So they come up and they've got this perception that all I like is really expensive restaurants, big, posh, spend loads of money. They're my least favourite. They're my least favourite of all. I love going to the likes of the Star Bar. I've been there twice, and do you know what? Two of the best visits I've ever had anywhere to have a lovely meal. I love finding little hidden gems. You know, Robbie from Street Food Analysis, he finds these little gems. I think he's a genius. And that's what I love doing. That's what I love doing. To sum it all up, okay, if you see me in the street, please come over, please say hello, please whatever. And if you're not happy about something, please come over and tell me what you're not happy about, but do it in a nice, civilised manner. Don't, Gaz, oh, by the way, I don't like this. You know, that's not what I want, kind of thing. If you meet me, please have your picture taken. I love speaking to everybody, and I really genuinely do. You know, my glass is never half empty. You know, my dad drilled it into me when I was young. Look on the bright side of life for everything. Tomorrow's another day. Try and make the most of every day. Let's give it a go. And that's why I always have the saying, let's give it a go, because don't say no to everything. Say yes occasionally. And remember, as always, let's give it a go. Now, if you have met me, put it in the comments section. My mum was in hospital there for a few days, and I met four people who came over and said hello. You know, it was nice to say hello to them. If you didn't like saying hello to me, then, you know, don't put it in the comment section. Don't put it in. And you are banned from putting anything in the comments section. This is all about the physical fear that you have when people come up to you and are going to be so aggressive, really aggressive. And I'm not just saying it. The last one really scared me. And it's kind of like, when is someone actually going to do something really horrible? And that's actually permanently in the back of my mind now. Guys, the channel's going to finish next year. However, if it gets worse, then I'm going to have to make a decision quite quickly. The one thing I will say, the next time someone comes up to me and is really abusive, you're going to be online. I'm going to take a video and put you online, because you don't understand. It is very, very scary. Guys, I appreciate you watching. It's starting to rain. Why does it always rain on me? I promise I won't sing ever again. I said that too many times. I'm not going to say like and subscribe to the channel, because I appreciate you watching, full stop. Until next time, I'd appreciate your complete patience on this one. Bye-bye.